So the other day, I made a video, because I was a little upset that Terrence Crawford, when it comes to this
Point
Javon
Cells
Ennis thing,
vitamins are the
I
number
was a
one
little upset
producing.
that I see my boy Bud, type, put up the check. Now a lot of y'all might think I don't understand how a lot of this goes. I do. I understand how a lot of this. I understand completely how the business goes. I know what goes with these fights and what it take to make them the matchmaking the business, and I'm just like almost a purist almost. I try not to talk about stuff like that. I don't like covering stuff like that much. You very seldom hear me cover those kind of things, but I'll talk about it sometimes, dib and dab in it. But for the most part, I really don't like talking about it. But when I see them type that, all I kept thinking about was Paul Al. Like that's what like immediately when I saw that, it kind of like because I used to get so tired of Errol Spence saying that and all these people talking about Cole Al or shit like that used to bother me. I was like, come on, bro, like what are you talking about? So when I see that, I just was like, damn. I hope my man Bud ain't right getting into that kind of shit. I understand. You know, you want to make the biggest bags. You want to progressively make more money each fight. I don't look at things the way everybody else look at it. Like, let's say if I was a fighter, I know how I would look at everything. Like, I'm more of a dude that's like, all right, I'm making bread. I got my money. I got a ton of money already. This young boy talking reckless like he can whoop me. I'm gonna have to show him and spank him and put him in his place type shit. Like, okay, yeah, this is not gonna bring me as much money as my other fight did, but it's still gonna bring me something back, or whatever the case is. So that's why when I was like, oh well, what about Avenesian? Nobody was talking about cut when it came to him. Cutting the check. Why wasn't that talk there with him? That was coming from a place of a little displeasure, because I just didn't like seeing that. I felt like maybe Bud was better off not saying nothing, man. I was like, all right, I hope he don't respond. It's like, don't say nothing, bro. When it comes time to it, you got to spank this young boy, then the time will come, you got to spank him, or whatever the case is. But I didn't want it to be like, all right, money is the reason why this didn't happen and all of that. I just get tired of seeing that shit, bro. You're a fan of the sport. You get so tired of seeing stuff like that, bro. That's just where I was coming from with it, man. But I totally get it. That doesn't mean I gotta be all right with it, So, but ultimately, man, I think what the outcome of that fight would probably be Terrence Crawford winning. Maybe by stoppage, more than likely that's probably what happened. But we can't pretend like Boots is not a good fighter, like a good solid scrap for Terrence Crawford, because he is. At least I think he is. At least he is until he ain't, because we seen it time and time again. A lot of these dudes, like we look at them, they look like they're the goods on the surface, and then they get there with somebody that's like a vet compared to them, is like experience, and they get washed. We see what happened with Erickson Lubin. We saw how that went with Jermell Charlo. He was calling for Charlo, and everybody said he was ready for Charlo, and you saw what happened the first round. I did bring that up. I was like, yo, could this happen to Boots? Could he get Erickson Lubin by Terrence Crawford? Who fuck knows? That's a possibility, but I think Boots' IQ, for what I can see, is way too. I think it's way too much for that to happen to him, at least in the first round, right? Just my take on that, but yeah, but Bud is still my guy. That's not gonna ever change. He went through a lot in this sport with the shenanigans and being shafted. I even think right now they shafted him when it came to the Tim Tszyu, trying to get that belt from Tszyu and all that stuff. So, it is what it is. Then I'm also seeing other channels talk about the rematch might still be in place for Errol Spence Jr. because Bomac pretty much was like, he haven't heard anything about the rematch being off and all that. But I'm like, that doesn't mean that the rematch is still on. Bomac even said himself, him and Bud don't talk much because, you know, Bud he vacationing and, you know, he be all over the place. So they don't catch up on a lot of stuff, and they don't really talk about boxing a lot as much as they used to until it's like come time for them like to fight and stuff like that. But I don't know. You know, I know see the thing is with the rematch, yeah, he's obligated to take the rematch because Errol executed it, but more than likely there is still a limit in that clause that says, look, even though you exercise this rematch got to take place by this time, and if it don't, that's it. It pretty much burns out. I can't tell you for sure if that's where we at. You got some channels pretty much giving out the impression that that's where we at. You got others saying, nah, that's not it. So I don't fucking know because I don't have the contract in front of me, you know. But yeah, I would like to definitely see him do what he got to do against Boots and some other people too. But ultimately, Boots and probably at a higher weight class. Though I don't think Bud should go back down. I think he should stay where he at, go up, you know, up 154 and above. Just my take, man. Clear that up. But anyway, this your boy Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all on the next one. And I'm off this.